My name's Davida Shinsky, and I would like to welcome you to this podcast, Parenting Adult Children, 6 important points to make the transition. And in this episode, we will explore key considerations and strategies for successful navigating the transition from parenting children to supporting them as adults, whether you are a parenting parent yourself or someone who works with parents. These insights can provide valuable guidance in their unique stage of life. Establish open communication. One crucial aspect of parenting and adult children is maintaining open lines of communication. Encourage honest and respectful conversations where both parties can express their thoughts, needs, and expectations. This fosters a healthy and supportive relationships. Respect their independence. As our children grow into adults, it's vital to respect their autonomy and decision making abilities. Offer guidance when requested, but allow them to make their own choices, even when they differ from what we might prefer. This helps them develop confidence and self relevance, balance support and boundaries. Finding the right balance between offering support and setting boundaries is essential. While it's natural to want to protect and help our adult children, it equally is important to encourage their personal growth by allowing them to face challenges and learn from their experiences. Encourage personal responsibilities. Transitioning into adulthood involves taking on new responsibilities. Encourage your adult children to take ownership of their actions, finances, and life decisions. This empowers them to develop a sense of accountability and resourcefulness. Provide emotional support. Even as adults, our children may need emotional support at times, but there, or rather, be there for them, ready to offer a listening ear, empathy, and guidance when needed, creating a safe space for them to express their emotions can strengthen the parent child bond. Foster a lifelong relationship. Parenting doesn't stop when our children become adults. It evolves into a lifelong relationship based on mutual respect, love, and understanding. Embrace the changing dynamics and continue to nurture the connection with your adult children. This topic is so important because we live in an age where you have some parents that don't want to let go because they don't want to be alone in their own old age. And all they're doing is hurting their children by not allowing them to grow up and take more responsibility for themselves. If you're a parent of an adult children, it probably hasn't taken you long to notice that the dynamics of your relationship change. After all, they're no longer considered kids, but adults responsible for their own life. It's been a decade since children moved out of the home, and it's been a learning journey for sure for all of us. Learning to shift out of parent mode and into mentor mode doesn't usually come with the flip of a switch. There's a learning curve for sure. Today, let's discuss the transition to parenting and adult children by embracing a gradual shift towards relating to them as equals rather than transition parent-child dynamics. This is so important simply because when you get to the point where you need to begin to accept the fact that you have children that are becoming adults, then what's happening? Then you got to be able to put yourself in the position of accepting that they are where they are and let them be who they were meant to be. So, six important points to make the transition when parenting an adult child. Boundaries with grown kids. Let's start with the boundaries or the invisible lines that define where one person ends and another begins. They are crucial to maintaining healthy and respectful relationships. It is essential to adjust these boundaries as our children transition into adulthood, as this adjustment creates a shift from a parent-child dynamic to a more equal and adult relationship. If there's one thing I know, it's that most kids past the age of 18 don't want their parents to be treating them like kids that need their mom and dad. They want to explore their own identities, make their own decisions, and take responsibility for their own lives. Adjusting boundaries helps us as parents to let go and trust in the abilities and judgment of other adults. Navigating the shift in today's rapidly changing world, it has become crucial to redefine the parent-child relationship. Gone are the days when parenting was solely based on authority and control. Instead, there is a growing need to foster mutual respect based interactions between parents and their children. This shift is essential because it allows for healthier and more positive parent child dynamic by emphasizing mutual respect in the parent child relationship. We create an environment that promotes open communication and understanding. Children feel seen and heard when their opinions are respected, even if they differ from you as the parent. This fosters a sense of trust and encouragement. Children to express themselves freely, lending to stronger bonds between the parent and child. Furthermore, a mutual respect based approach allows parents to guide their children without resorting to authoritative methods. Instead of using power and control, parents can engage in discussions and negotiations with their children. This not only teaches children the important life skills such as problem solving and decision making, but also helps them to develop a sense of autonomy, establishing healthy independence, allowing adult children to make their own choices is super helpful for their development and growth. As parents, it is important to understand that our children are not extensions of ourselves, but individuals with their own unique personalities, dreams, and desires. By giving them the freedom to make their own choices, we are instilling in them a sense of independence, self confidence, and responsibility. It allows them to explore their interests, learn from their mistakes, ultimately shape their own path in life. While it may be difficult to let go and relinquish control, it is essential for our children's personal and emotional growth. There have been plenty of times that I've had to bite my tongue and let go and control so that my adult children can pursue their own path. It wasn't always so easy. As parents, our role should be that of guides rather than directors. Instead of imposing our own beliefs upon our adult children, we should provide them with the necessary tools, advice, and support to make informed choices. That means listening to their thoughts and opinions, respecting their autonomy, and offering guidance when needed, empowering your children. As we do this, we are empowering our children to think critically, problem solve, and take ownership of their decisions. It also allows them to develop a sense of trust and open communication, fostering a better parent relationship with the mutual respect. After discussions with adult children, we decided that they would come to us for advice on their terms. This meant I had to learn how to hold back my opinions and simply listen when they needed to talk, giving them the freedom to figure things out for themselves rather than imposing my thoughts on them. It isn't always easy to do this, but I understand the value of it. Ultimately, by allowing adult children to make their own choices and assuming the role of guides rather than directors, we are nurturing their growth into independent, confident individuals who can navigate their life's challenges better. It is through this process that they will learn the valuable life lessons and develop the skills necessary to thrive in an ever changing world, setting financial boundaries. As parents, it's natural to want to support our adult children in whatever way we can. However, finding the balance between offering financial assistance and fostering financial responsibility can be a delicate topic. Remember that our goal as parents is not to enable dependencies, but to help our children become self sufficient and capable of managing their own finances. One way to find this balance is by establishing clear expectations and boundaries. So let your children know what kind of financial support that you are willing to provide and under what circumstances. Encourage them to take responsibility for their own expenses and make a plan for achieving financial independence by setting them and getting them the expectations early on. You are setting the stage for them to learn how to manage their own finances before they move out. Be sure that you take and talk to them about budgeting and financial planning. Offer guidance and resources to help them understand the importance of saving, budgeting, and living within their means. Encourage them to set financial goals and work towards achieving them by giving them the tools and knowledge they need. You are empowering them to take control of their own financial future. You can also emphasize the value of hard work and independence. Encourage your adult children to pursue an education or career opportunities that align with their passions and strengths. Remind them that success comes from their own efforts and determination. By instilling these values, you are fostering a sense of pride and accomplishment that will motivate them to take charge of their own financial well being. Fostering growth through guidance. As parents, it is important for us to recognize and respect the autonomy of our adult children. They have grown into independent individuals with their own thoughts, beliefs, and decisions. While it may be challenging to let go and accept that they are no longer children, it is crucial to give them the space and freedom to make their own choices. This does not mean that we cannot offer or support and guide when they need it. We can be there to lend a helping hand whenever they seek our assistance. But it is important to do so without imposing our own ideas or expectations on them. By striking a balance between respecting their autonomy and offering a helping hand, we can foster a healthy and mutually beneficial relationship with our adult children. Mutual respect. Recognize that boundaries exist to protect our own well being and ensure that we feel comfortable and respectful in our interaction with others. However, there are lines when boundaries are crossed, either intentionally or unintentionally, which can lead to potential challenges. One potential challenge when boundaries are crossed is a loss of trust. When someone disregards our boundaries, it can create feelings of betrayal and make us question their intentions. This can strain the relationship and make it difficult to rebuild trust. Another challenge is a loss of personal autonomy. When we and our boundaries are respectively or repeatedly crossed, it can make us feel powerless and as if we have no control over our lives. This can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even anger. To address these examples, do your best to communicate assertively, clearly express your boundaries to your adult children, explaining why they are important to you. Be specific about what behaviors are acceptable and what are not. Additionally, set consequences for crossing boundaries and communicate them calmly but firmly. Sometimes boundaries are crossed unintentionally due to a lack of wellness or understanding. Open and honest communication can help resolve misunderstandings and, and prevent future boundaries. For parenting adult children should be a learning experience that you'll make your fair share of mistakes. The biggest lesson that you can learn is to approach parenting more as a mentor. This way, boundaries become less rigid, and I encourage them to make their own decisions and learn from their mistakes. If we approach parenting as being mentors, we provide guidance, share our knowledge and experiences, and help our children reach their potential. So I would like to take this time to thank you for joining us. Every parent-child relationship is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. However, by implementing these important points, you can lay a solid foundation for fulfilling a supportive relationship with your adult children. And what I'm going to do is give you a short synopsis of this by giving you an example that when during the 50s and the early 60s, parents really controlled their children's lives. And at that time, you didn't have the laws that you have today that guarantee people with disabilities rights. And society and my parents really followed those, was that they didn't really show and that people with disabilities lived and and they were hidden away, and there were no programs to help people with disabilities to become a part of society. A lot of that changed in the late 70s, and my mother could never change, and she also wanted to make sure that she would be never be left alone, so she tried to make me dependent on her. And when she couldn't do that, she would withhold the financial support to help me become independent, to be able to support myself. And in my older sister's case, she sabotaged everything that she did to the point of making her totally dependent on her. And my mother's been gone almost 12 years, and my sister is so lost. She literally doesn't know how to think for herself, how to get up and make breakfast herself, how to go out and participate. It's like she's a lost soul that needs guidance because she became so dependent on them. And as a parent, you have to allow your children to become independent so that when you're no longer there, they can take care of themselves.